Yes, sir. What's happening, man? It's your boy Jaybars, the hood star, man. Yada. It's the slap kitchen, man. We here cooking up with Milo and this motherfucker. And yeah, man, go ahead. What's your Instagrams? Let them know something. We're gonna get straight into it. What's your Instagram, your YouTube, or your Facebook, however you wanna, whatever you wanna get to the people, man. What is it?
You can find me on Instagram at MiloKimballMixing, all one word. No underscores, no like periods or nothing. MiloKimball mixing. Something simple. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't really be doing all the YouTube, all that stuff right now, but I do got studio time available at any time. For San Jose or just Bay Area artists. Um, yeah, man, I'll be working with a whole bunch of people. So tap in, let's get something rocking.
Yeah, tap in with him, man. He's the guy, man. He got to come through and cook up with us, man. What you got for us, Brody? Let's go
Yes,
straight into
sir.
it.
Here, let me share my screen for you.
There you go. I fix
Oh,
it.
you want to re-enable that? Yeah,
I did, yeah.
awesome,
There we go.
cool. Bounce everything to the right spot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna just run through this track real quick. I'll probably just play the first verse real quick so y'all can hear kind of how everything's sounding. We ain't got nothing on there right now. I got a couple of like preset little auxiliary tracks or buses loaded up, but nothing's actually routed right now, so it's all dry as hell.
Okay,
But
okay.
sound
Yeah.
real
That's
quick.
right. Shout out to the Bay. San Jose. Now, baby. Ready again. My big bro in the feds cause he looks sweet. Gotta watch my speed cause the heat underneath the seat. Changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging A's, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up, the judge said I can't leave. You feel me? Trying to make.
All right. So you can hear it's pretty quiet. It doesn't really have too much like character right now. We definitely need to like get that shit bumping.
For
So
sure.
first thing I'm gonna do is just go in on that main vocal, throw in a couple of things, right? So I got my little go-to plugins all set up over here.
Nice.
Throw in a 10 band EQ. Let's get which one I want to use. I'm just gonna go with the stock compressor
Yeah.
and
For you Logic users, you feel me?
anybody on Logic, this one for surely. And I mean, something I learned in school was if you can make it work with all the stock plugins, you can do it with everything else. You don't even need to spend money to make your shit sound good.
For real.
Um, Throw in SSL EQ and let's go with in between these guys. I'll bounce into another stock plugin. Let's just use the multipressor that Logic's got. So that right there should be a pretty decent spot to start off. Just give me a little bit of like volume and a little bit of like actual character real quick.
A
Get
little
some of those
color.
some of that sibilance taken care of and stuff. I already before we started the call, I already got everything all faded in and out. Everything's looking pretty smooth on that end. I saved all some time,
Why do you do that? Why you do the fades in and out? For those who don't know, why do you? Is that like a personal
So
preference thing?
basically if I was to like yeah, if I was to just solo this track, right? Um, I don't know, you could see there's that little bit of movement over here
Uh-huh.
before I'm even getting to the actual audio. So I don't want none of that. Basically just keeping it so the only things we get out of each track is just the
Exactly.
important stuff, the actual vocals. None of him just moving around in the studio, none of the like little breaths or whatever. We don't
Mm.
need none of that. Sometimes the microphone has a little bit of just a character that adds some sound otherwise too.
I was slanging dope out.
So yeah, I'll run through later. Cut this one real quick. this is a cool tool. If y'all never used it, you hit this little drop down bar up here. You come over here, we got remove silence, and we can real quick just pick the things that we want to keep, find a good looking pre-attack time. So like over here, we're missing a tiny bit of vocals. So what I'll do is I'll come back in. I'll grab this guy, extend it a tiny bit, but otherwise we got everything already, you know, selected how we want it. So hit a quick little fade on there. The shortcut I use is Control Shift, and if you just click and drag from the corner, you got these fades right there. Makes things nice and easy for you.
What was that? Do that silence thing again, man. What was that? What'd you click on?
Yeah. Remove silence up here. So
Okay.
here, I'll get back to. So if you come up here, there's this little drop down window. Yeah, the toolbar button.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can customize the toolbar, and there's gonna be all this stuff up here. You want to make sure remove silence is clicked.
Right.
And you come over here, make sure you have a track selected first off, and then remove silence, and it'll give you the option to, you know, really tame that exactly how you want it. So
Get rid of all that unnecessary, you know, noise. I dig it. I like it.
yeah, you don't have to, if you want to get a bunch of different ad libs all, you know, taken care of, and you don't want to like click through each one. Simple as that, and you got everything cleaned up real quick.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so he comes in, this artist does a lot of punch-ins, you know. If I was to pull this out, what he's got, yeah, the first 2 bars recorded right there. I don't think we kept the second one. You can see the audio file kind of changes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Second one, I think that might have, yeah, that was all he recorded right there. So it's really easy on those ones for me to just kind of drag and drop those as we were recording. I normally record with some preset stuff that I make per artist, but you know, took everything off of there so that way I could show y'all how I do this stuff from the stump.
Yes, sir.
So first of all,
My big bro in the feds cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
this guy,
I was
first thing I'm
slanging
gonna do,
my big bro in the feds cause he wouldn't
add a little low
speak.
cut.
Gotta watch my speed cause the
rid of everything
heat
under the
underneath
bottom.
the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
So
I was
what
slanging
I'll do,
my big bro in the feds cause he
so
wouldn't
I'll add a
speak.
little
Gotta watch my speed cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just
and
sipping
I'll
tea.
sweep around.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
And you can hear how crazy
I
that
was
shit
slanging
sounds. So there's
my big-
certain frequencies that are going to sound way worse than others. That's kind of what I'm looking for right now.
The
you know,
music,
so-
the music was kind of drowning you out. It was a little loud. Can you kind of explain?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So the first thing I was doing is adding this little low cut that hits it around 100. I don't need nothing under that. It's pretty much all just boominess from the voice. You know, it's just a bunch of bass sound right there. You're not getting anything useful. So especially on a male vocal, we can cut around 100. Call
right.
that cool. Sometimes I'll push it up to like 120. Next thing I'm going to do is add another filter. And, you know, these guys are either boosting or attenuating frequencies. So I'm tightening the Q up on that boy as much as it goes. And then I'm going to sweep around looking for those ugly ass sounds. So,
Right.
you know, if I move this around while I'm playing the track, you'll hear it kind of hit some weird sounds.
my big bro in the feds cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe.
It's like right there, you can hear it sounds really tinny.
Yeah, I heard
So
that.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boost it out and see how far I can get and just how much it really like adds to the sound if I widen this out, like adds to that bad sound, I should say. And then I'm gonna use that to cut it.
My big bro in the feds cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta
That
watch
sounds
my
pretty
speed cause
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that, turn that into a little cut right there.
My big bro in the feds,
And just
cause
do that
he wouldn't
pace,
speak.
you know, find a
Gotta
pretty good
watch my
spot for that.
speed, cause the heat underneath the seat.
And I'm just going to kind of repeat that process on, you know, a little bit here and there, find some different frequencies that are just really stand out, like things I don't want.
My big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak.
One I normally will cut, especially for a male vocal, is right around 1,000 hertz. You get this really like just tingy sound. You don't need that shit for, yeah, like at all. So I'll keep that one pretty tight usually, and just lightly cut that one out a little bit.
My big bro in the feds, cause
You can already hear it's kind of starting to get a little bit more upfront sounding with the vocal.
my big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed, cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe.
Another one I found for this artist is around like 25 to 3K hertz. He has a little bit of just this kind of, I don't know, his low pitch voice definitely works a lot more in the lower end. So there's a lot of little spots up here that I can kind of cut down. Like
my big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed, cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm.
So we'll cut that similarly.
Yeah, that 10 band EQ go crazy, man. You got 10 bands to mess with.
Yeah, this thing is pretty nice. It's a Q10. I think that, yeah, it's a Waves plugin. And so we'll call that for right now. We'll come back. You know what? We'll look around a tiny bit more. And this one is just basically going to be my surgical EQ, just getting rid of things that I don't want. I'll come in and boost stuff in a minute on a different EQ.
My big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed, cause the heat underneath the seat.
So there's another one we can cut. Make that nice and easy. And it really is just the same process on all of them, you know, just looking around, finding a good,
my big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak.
good spot where it just
Gotta
doesn't
watch my
sound good.
speed,
You know,
cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor.
Something I really like about this EQ is a lot of parametric EQs will give you an actual like frequency response. I like the fact that this one doesn't have it. I think it's a whole lot more effective if you just use your ears and just kind of find those spots that don't sound good as opposed to the ones that don't look good. Right. You might have like right here, let's say, you know, around 8K or 800 hertz, you know, you might have something boosting up real high and your immediate instinct is just going to be to cut it. I think that could be pretty detrimental. You know, if it does sound good, then it sounds good. And your eyes can deceive you on that one for real, where your ears aren't going to. Like if you're practicing, you know, listening for frequencies, especially at a daily rate, you're going to pretty quickly tune into what sounds good and what doesn't. Right. You don't need to go off of what it looks like, because otherwise, you know, you're cutting things that don't need to be cut. And the more that you do take away from this, the thinner the vocal's going to sound.
Right.
So we'll leave that right there. We'll throw in a little bit of compression right here. And
my big bro in the
right now,
cause
about
he wouldn't
just
speak.
stock settings.
Gotta watch my speed, cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe.
Compressors are basically just taking your vocal and smushing it down. You know, you got those spots where it comes up a bunch, and then those spots where it's real quiet. So like from here to here are going to be real different looking, at least. But if I compress it properly, they should sound about the same on the levels.
My big bro in the feds, cause he
I'll take this first one and I'll make it, you know, 2-5-1, 2-1-1. Feels like a pretty good ratio for me. Ratio being just how much the compressor is actually taking to the vocal, and how much.
I had an instructor. I had a teacher. I think it was our teacher too. They said that we should start out for like 4-1 or something, or 3-1.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot harsher of a compression. I think rap vocals sound pretty good with like a multi-layered.
I tend to take my time now. I'm in school for it still now, but I tend to sit there and turn each knob by itself. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So ratio knob and then fuck with the threshold. You know what I mean? I go for that's how I do my compressions.
Yeah, but exactly.
Like you said, your ear will hear it. You don't need to. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You don't even need this little graph up here. I've had times where you're sitting just at 0, and if you turn it off to on, you hear this major difference just in the character that it adds.
Mm-hmm.
So this first one, I'm not really going to be, if I have it at 4.1, it's going to be adding a lot more character from the compressor. I'll do that in a later compressor. Right here, I'm just basically going to be taming up the levels. And so let's hear how that sounds.
My big bro in the feds cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
So we're gonna keep that. And I want to have a tight attack, kind of a medium to tight release on his vocals, and a pretty tight knee on there. It's nothing too crazy, but it definitely has some room to be laid off if I wanted it to. But I think it sounds pretty nice to have it kind of punching. So leave that for right now. Come into the de-esser, move this guy over to a different style where we're basically, instead of a split compressor, we're taking everything. And when it hits this little frequency right here, it's going to cut everything. This one actually specifically cuts a little bit more in that spot where we've got this little red line, or whichever frequency I've got selected. And it's got a pretty cool little feature where when I drag it around, it changes how much is available to cut just based on what that frequency sounds like. Certain things you want to be able to take a lot more of, certain ones you don't. And so what I'll do is I'll look for
My big bro
like punchy S's or C's, or like puh, kuh, tuh, like those little sounds. We call them sibilants. So I'm gonna cut those out.
have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging A's, dreaming about a P.
That dreaming about a P right there.
A's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. A's dreaming about a P.
So what I'll do is I'll bring that down.
A's dreaming.
Change the range on here. And make sure it's on first.
A's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. A's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. A's dreaming.
Vocals, you're going to usually find sibilants sitting around anywhere from like 7 to 9K. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more.
Yeah, I tend to usually find it like around 7.5, between 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But 7 and 9, that's for sure a good reference, yeah.
A P.
So if I was to just solo that little spot that's being cut, all that stuff right there is being is what I'm getting rid of.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, so we don't need any of that. We'll call that solid.
Abe's dreaming about a P.
And then that P isn't popping out as heavy. It doesn't sound as kind of intense. So what I'll do here is I'll come over to a multi-band compressor, open this guy up, and
Abe's dreaming about.
We're going to basically do a little bit to tame a couple different areas in his frequencies and compress those along with it. Something I sometimes like to do is, even if you just go onto this stock one, you can come in, find something that works for you. I've got a couple little spots that I like to use. I think the Final Hip Hop compressor you can usually tame into a spot that works for vocals pretty well. This punchy, deep fatness sometimes works. So let's see how this one sounds on here. If I was to just knock that in.
Abe's dreaming about a P.
So that's got like this really intense sound. We'll start with that just to be able to kind of make things quick on us.
Abe's dream.
We're gonna change the compression's threshold so that way it's not quite
Abe's dream.
Heavily. Change the ratio. We definitely don't need that quite as high as it was.
Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked.
And so you can hear already that just this little bit is adding a lot more, like character to his voice. Like if I take this.
Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. Abe's dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked. Abe's dreaming about a P.
So that right there adds some volume, adds some character. I'll usually mess with that a little bit more. I'll get into that once I get into my final mix as to where I've ended up landing with everything.
Remember me.
There's sometimes, I'll come in and I'll add some other things here too. Let's say one of my favorite plugins that's really quick and easy to use is what was it? If I go to my Slate Digital plugins, Fresh Air, this guy right here is super simple. Just a boost on the high end and like mid highs, and I'll just turn that all the way up so you guys can hear how it's sounding.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope.
So it really boosts those high end and makes it like nice and proper. You get that crispy sound with it.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
I'll do a little comparison. So here's where it's at.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P.
And with
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans.
It just adds this nice little high end. So
Remember me.
sometimes I'll add that guy. I'll leave it on for right now because we're about to add some boosting EQ, and that'll take care of some of the job for us. So this plugin right here is pretty great. It's basically emulating the SSL channel strips, where I have two different EQ types. They've got these are different styles. The main thing that it actually affects is your high end boost. You can see it changing from red to black right there. I'm sorry, my low end boost. And so I like the black one a whole lot more. It just has this cleaner, less noticeable sound. It allows you to have a little bit more natural sound in there. And we're gonna basically do the same thing in reverse as to what we had done previously, where I'm gonna turn these plugins all the way up, or turn these frequencies all the way up.
Remember me,
and just sweep slowly.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope.
And we're looking for things that sound good now instead of bad. So the other plugin, this Fresh Air plugin, does kind of boost around 10K for the mid air, and then the high air is I think around 14K. So we'll kind of keep that in mind while boosting this. But
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
Yeah, I can get away with something around here, around 9.5.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up.
And keep in mind, these are all just dynamics too that we've been working on so far. We'll get to the actual effects and stuff pretty soon.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P.
So right here around 6K sounds pretty good. Cut this and widen it.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up, the judge said I can't leave. You feel me? Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope.
And so the vocals are already starting to sound pretty clean right there. Add a little bit of boost on the low end, which will just kind of add that fatness on there. Keep it so the curve on there is just sitting right.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
This is one you want to be careful with if you're mixing out of speakers, to either turn your speakers down or just switch over to headphones, because you can definitely mess with the low end on those and kind of blow those out as well as your ears. If you're pushing up on 100 and lower, at the plus 16 decibels, it can be kind of a gnarly sound. So you want to
remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging eight.
So right there, it's pretty gross, but if I just make
remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope.
Adds a little bit to his vocal, where it gives us a little bit of just some low end pump. And right here, I'll do a similar EQ as I had previously, where I'm going to cut around 100. And here I'm going to actually add a high-end cut or a high-end pass that is basically cutting around 20K. Your vocals are never going to go higher than that, and the human ear can't even really hear higher than that, so we don't need that for anything.
Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out.
Cool. So that's a pretty decent start for our dynamics. I can always come in and mess with stuff more later. But we'll get into some effects. First thing I'm going to do is definitely mess with this parallel compression. So these are already set for things in ways that I like them. I like to have my parallel compression just a full like limiter compressor, where it's basically going to pump things at such a gnarly sound.
Apes dreaming about a P, and now I'm locked. Apes dreaming about.
It gives this crazy, you know, just like really upfront sound. And so what we'll do is we'll go from 0 and we'll slowly move it up to find the, you know, the right spot for taste.
Apes dreaming about a P, and now I'm locked. Apes dreaming about a P, and now I'm locked. Apes dreaming about a P, and now I'm locked.
Yeah, and that sounds pretty good right there. Just using that guy to basically bring our vocals right up front, keeping those nice and easy to hear, easy to understand all the words that are being used, and just make it sound that much cleaner on the dynamics. We'll cut into, I have two different EQs, or I'm sorry, not EQs. I have two different reverbs available through this little chain right here. I've got both true verb as well as one knob. One knob is pretty good for, I like that one for like my ad-libs and dubs, and it just kind of has this nice big sound to it where you could push it kind of all around and get these different energies out of it. Makes things easy, especially on the background stuff. You don't really have to worry about them too much.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the.
And
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping.
you can hear as I turn that up, this reverb isn't doing too much, but it definitely is kind of pushing things around a little bit. I like to EQ my reverbs too, make sure that they do fit nice with the vocal. But because it's not actually doing too much on the reverby side of things, I might even add a little bit of this other one, right? And
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't.
you can hear how much that one's adding to that kind of faraway sound.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping.
Another thing we're going to do is come in with the delays. I'll add an 8th delay and a slap back right now, kind of get 2 in 1. So that's going to be my compressor, or my bus number 5 and my bus number 7. So these two guys right here.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P, and now I'm locked up. The judge said I can't.
You can hear really quickly this one starts being really transparently like in the mix. So I want to kind of keep this really nice in the background. It more so just adds a little bit more on the reverb effect, where it kind of creates some width with the vocal.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at.
Difference of it without it.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit.
Just kind of adds this little bit of just throw with the vocal. Come in, do a similar thing. I'm using H delay, which, you know, some of them, I've got this one ping ponged. So this is like a background slap back, I guess.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea.
So if I was to turn that all the way up, it's got this crazy sound where it kind of bounces left and right.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
Go back to our real slap.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
Feedback. And so basically,
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor.
once again adds presence. Definitely don't want that all the way up.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea.
And I have another spot where I've got a distortion. I don't think I'm using that on this mix. I've got a couple other plugins that I'll throw into that I just don't need for these.
Yeah.
And otherwise, so I've been slowly working on building a little master chain. So I'll go to my most recent edit with it. And already I know that this EQ is going to be pretty much useless, so I can just kind of throw everything back. I can leave this little cut around 20. Everything below that is just rumble. There's nothing even new.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea.
You can hear how much that already just kind of pushes everything out. So what I'll do is go back again, do that frequency sweep. This one especially, you want to be careful around the 100 on your speakers. You know, that can really mess with them, or even just through headphones, it can mess with your ears.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a pit. Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor.
That's
That noise crazy, man. All the fucking assignments with that white noise shit.
Yeah, it really can start pushing things in a gross way. And so this one right here, you could see that I had gone off of the final pop compressor and tinkered to that one to find my own likings with it.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up, the judge said I can't fight. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea.
I go over to this guy, Brainworks Master Deck. This thing is really nice for just adding a really cool punch to it.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have.
Brings everything up front, just makes this really nice, like, punchy sound. I like to have it on the hard compressor, tone A for like this style of rap music.
Hey,
and you can kind of mess around with the stereo enhance. I like where it's sitting right now.
hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 6.
So it's pretty light. It works a lot. It's a lot more apparent when you got you know, speakers around you and stuff. Like in a car, this is a huge factor as to just like if your vocal is going to sound really wide out or like right up front.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember
as it adds in the background or cuts. So
hey, I don't drink,
but I like high mid end or adds it.
Yeah.
hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up, the judge said I can't leave.
Right there. So throw an expander on there, adds a little bit of just boost.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me.
And I use this plugin Wider by Infected Mushroom. It's, I believe, free online, so nice and easy to get. And I'll just like to add a little bit of stereo spread to my vocals.
Hey, I don't drink,
like song in general, just kind of makes it feel bigger.
hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea.
Kind of somehow compresses things too and brings them all together into this cool glue sound.
Hey, I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
Always have this one pretty much doing the same thing. Just gonna cut to around 0.3. My look ahead is pretty tight. Got my gain boosting a little bit, just making it so I can get that nice and loud.
Hey, I don't drink, hold.
You know, a 0 decibel mix, which is definitely the goal. Throw one more plugin in there, and this guy is another one knob plugin. It's just louder. This thing is really nice. It
Hey, I don't drink.
basically push the actual perceived volume on my mix while keeping, if I keep this little corner open right here,
I don't drink.
peaking at 0.3. Do that again. So we're peaking at 0.3, but you know, we don't have to have it actually going any higher by making it still sound a whole lot louder.
I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16.
So you can see that really pushes everything out even more.
I don't drink, hold the liquor.
Definitely pretty lightly, just kind of something a little bit to add some flavor.
I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me.
For the ad libs, I'll be doing a pretty similar thing, same thing as I did in the first vocals. You know, I could even just drag and drop this in, and I want to cut around 500 hertz. I might change up a little bit of the frequencies on here just to kind of give us a little bit of character in the final mix. But otherwise, let me pull up what I've got for, you know, how I actually finished this song. So prior to this video, I, you know, actually sat and worked on this song on some longer time and worked on it with the artist a little bit, and this is about where we ended up having it sounding.
That's right. Shout out to the Bay, San Jose, city, the town, baby. It's rain again. My big bro in the feds, cause he wouldn't speak. Gotta watch my speed, cause the heat underneath the seat. I changed my life, but I'm still riding with that pipe. I don't drink, hold the liquor, I'm just sipping tea. Remember me, I ain't have shit at 16. I was slanging dope out my denim jeans. I was slanging apes, dreaming about a P. And now I'm locked up, the judge said I can't leave. You feel me? Tryna maintain, these bitches play games. Tryna get my change up, why you gotta change up? When I was up, you said I was your brother. When I fell off, you forwarded my number. Boy, take your daddy chain and give it back. You ain't got no motion, you ain't got no racks. Boy, you can't even get off a half a pack. You hit my phone line tryna stab me in the back. Ain't no friends in this game, and you know that's facts. I was born alone and I'ma die like that. But now my pocket's fat, they need life, bro. I just want the hoe for her FICO score. I'm pulling off the lot every year, so yeah, I'm pulling off the lot straight to the rim stove. I'm tryna maintain, these bitches play games. Tryna get my change up, why you gotta change up? When I was up, you said I was your brother. When I fell off, you forwarded my number. Bitch, we'll take your daddy chain and give it back. Shit back, boy. You ain't got no motion, you ain't got no racks. Don't.
And we've actually got a feature hopping on this. We're gonna pretty quickly, I think within the next week, have another artist hopping on here and get this all wrapped up so we can get it ready to release. But for the meantime, that's where it's sitting at.
Okay, all right.
I'm pretty good with it.
That shit, what's up, man? You seen it here first, man, with Milo, man. Yada, you feel me? Yeah, man. Slap Kitchen, the first episode, man. We cooking up with MiloKimball, man. Go follow that man Instagram. Yeah, I'm talking about. You see what he's getting done. You see what he's doing. Hit him in the DM. Yeah, I'm talking about. Inquire for the prices. He's doing this shit all day. You see, he got the shirt from 7B. He's official, man. Call him up, tap in, DM, get your shit.
Hell yeah.
The right way. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't see, I'm still stuck on. I mean, I fuck with the Waves plugins, but you pulled out some shit that I ain't seen either in a minute or before. You feel me? Yeah, I see you doing it big.
Yeah, so I've been messing around with Waves plugins a lot recently. I've got a couple other, brands that I like a lot, Isotope and a couple like off-brand little random things, but definitely been messing around with the Waves ones more recently. I got a little the Platinum pack a couple months ago, so I've been messing around with that one. This artist said it's good to just kind of experiment with some different stuff on here, so that's the ones that I ended up landing on.
For sure.
I'll say this too. Anybody who reaches out, hit me up over the DMs. Let me know that you got sent by the slap alert, and I'll hook y'all on that first session for
Oh,
real.
you heard it here first, man. He got the slap alert discount, man. Tap in, man. Yada. Tap the fuck in, man. You got something else you want to say before we let him go, man?
Hey man, yeah, you're gonna find that track soon. This is a new artist. He ain't even dropped nothing yet, so you guys getting the real sneak peek on that one. Uh, we got City Boy hopping on there. I'll spill the beans on that one. Yeah, we got City Boy hopping on there.
Okay.
Homie from Watsonville, and yes, it's gonna be a slapper for Shelly, man. This one, I'm looking forward to getting this one out. I think it's gonna be his first like legit drop. He just got the leads for the beat and everything. Stay tuned on my page. I'll definitely be posting it up on my story. Y'all will see it. I'll hit you with the link if you need it.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
it's gonna be in the description when the time comes. I'm gonna make sure that your info is in the description and pop it up on the screen as well, man. It's
Hell yeah.
for us, man. Thank you for pulling up for Slap's Kitchen, though. We appreciate you, dog. We
All
appreciate
right, thank you for having me, man.
the show, man. Listen, man, you have a blessed one, and yeah, subscribe, all that good stuff. You feel me?
Yeah.